To get a reality check on the cable business, we asked three journalists who cover the media to join us in a panel discussion at our Times Square studio. Bob Gold moderated the session, which we call Press Play.
Let's first talk about the people who are making our businesses happen. There are always movers and shakers that we always identify. But there's also a new tier of up-and-coming rising stars, the next generation of innovators, movers, shakers that you want to be looking at.
I think Jason Kilar at Hulu is someone that we've certainly had an eye on. That was a venture that people a year ago thought, is this going to work? This is, old media guys. Do they, quote unquote, get the web? And is a venture between NBC Universal and News Corp going to work? And guess what? It absolutely did. It proved that with kind of clean infrastructure, smart technology, and a huge library, people will watch, and they'll watch with ads. So to see what's going to go on there, I think is quite fascinating.
On the programming side, I think that David Zaslav at Discovery is doing more than any probably three companies combined. It'd be very interesting to see what happens with the Oprah channel. He's just doing very smart things, changing the channels around. And if I can pick someone else who's not in the industry itself, at least not in the formal sense, but Julius Jankowski at the FCC, young guy who's going to be shaking things up. We don't know exactly in what way, but if you're asking who we're watching, that's someone I'm interested in watching.
I would second your thought about the Oprah channel, and I'm also curious about some networks that are making themselves and some that are remaking themselves. At MTV, how are they remaking themselves? And Stephen Friedman now is the president of MTV. I'm curious to see what they'll be doing going forward. Looking at a network that's making itself, Fox Business Network has been around for about a year and a half now, with some things to show for it, but still limited distribution. And I'm very curious to see where that goes going forward.
The News Corp, NBC Universal, Hulu experiment has proven to be the second most popular video site on the web. Time Warner came out and said we have a new initiative of TV Anywhere because, in fact, they recognize as programmers consumers are watching on different devices. Some are unplugging their cable.
They're recognizing it rather belatedly, let's be honest. Millions of people, myself included, are watching all their television online. Now, granted, we can't watch CNN and Fox News and MSNBC online yet, and we can't watch some cable channels online yet, but there's enough content on the web where I think it's a manageable solution.
What'll be interesting is to see whether the cable networks and broadcasters will end up trying to do what newspapers are doing now, which is saying, stuff we used to give away for free, now we want to charge for, but not finding a way to do that. I wonder whether we're in a situation, as Jeff Zucker would say, where we're trading analog dollars for digital nickels. What
they're trying to do is not become the music industry, not make those mistakes, and you do recognize, the people are very much, they want to watch their content where they want to watch it, when they want to watch it, and if you don't provide it, someone else will, legally or illegally.
I think they're moving in a very promising direction, both Comcast, Time Warner, and other cable companies, talking about this authentication model, where if you subscribe somewhere, you can watch it anywhere. I think that's a very promising model because it saves some of the value. I mean, the internet always destroys value, right? Just like the music industry learned.
Can you put that online video back in the bottle, the genie back in the bottle?
Yeah.
We've already been able to access it so easily. Can you then all of a sudden make it a little more difficult? And will people play? Will people, go along for that ride? I think that's what we'll have to kind of wait and see about.
Recent J.D. Power survey says top video distributors, DirecTV, Verizon. What do Comcast and Time Warner need to do to get back on top?
I think it's very much a branding and a perception issue. And I think certainly some of the marketing has played into a lot of that. I think you've seen the Verizon Fios ads, you've seen the DirecTV ads with the Beyonce or Jimmy Kimmel or Pamela Anderson. And I think that really helps that image of these are premium providers, they're newer, they're flashier.
I have to give them a little bit of credit for reaching out to new media. For example, Comcast and what they've done on Twitter, I've been fascinated by, and how they've continued to hire new people to be communicating online with customers. Granted, that's a tiny slice of the customer base, but they are making some inroads, at least in new media, trying to connect to customers that way.
Where do you feel customers and your readers are coming to you and saying, I'm having to make some tough choices? What do I want to give up in my bundle?
I suspect we're going to see more people cutting the HBO subscription, cutting some of the higher tiers they're on. Almost always the complaints are going to be about price. I was in Wisconsin this week talking to customers, and every time I asked for their complaints about their cable company, it was about price.
Based on the reports we saw from the fourth quarter of 2008, revenue-generating units were up, but video subscribers were down. I have a feeling that it's mostly going to manifest itself in lack of growth. People still like to be entertained, particularly if they're staying at home more. It's interesting what's happening in the movie market. I mean, the movie business is doing really well. And even 3D movies, which have a premium price, are doing really well. People will pay for that entertainment. So there's an opportunity there, but in terms of taking on new services, I think that's going to be a challenged proposition.
There's been a lot of buzz in the media about cord cutting. I don't think we've really seen it, and I think people are moving more to the satellite providers and the telcos than they are to the web. I think you do hear a lot about, yes, that is where we're going, and perhaps 5-10 years down the line, that is where we'll be watching, all of our content. But that's actually not happening yet, and whether that's, the bundling, the marketing online, whether that's really liking that in-home entertainment right now, which certainly beats the vacation that you can't afford to take anymore. So we aren't seeing it yet. Perhaps we will down the line.
Your customers want to make a personal and individual connection to entertainment and information, family and friends, on any screen, anywhere, anytime. And service providers are ready to deliver this connected life, led by visual networking and built on a solid Cisco IP next-generation network foundation. It's all happening right here, right now, on the human network, the connected life, your life. Connect now.
Network Originals. Mornings with Lori and Larry.
Ooh, yes, it's true. Thank you.
Every day with Marcus and Lisa.
I never get tired of hearing that song and watching you.
Judy Bird's Kitchen.
Now, for the finishing touch, put on your strawberries.
Wretched with Todd Friel.
Oh, that's you.
It's new, it's fun, it's Family Neck.
Reed Television Group, the leader for news and information on the television industry. Multi-Channel News, the weekly book of record for cable operators, networks, and suppliers, featuring in-depth analysis and content. Broadcasting and Cable, the industry's most comprehensive source on the business of television. Multi-Channel Newswire, the daily email service for cable professionals. B&C Today, the daily email all about the business of television. Reed Television Group, the authoritative news source.